What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 49. Don't be hitting the button that your questions are now going through because this is pre recorded. As I'm speaking, I'm driving from Switzerland to Germany to teach at the Bush Camp Brothers Camp. Hey, am I driving right now? Wait a minute. Is this all in my head? No, it is not, guys. We pre recorded. Guys, I have a really, really good topic. This is one of those topics that if you invest the time to get good at this is going to be a huge game changer for you because it takes time to get good at it, but when you do, it really helps you pass the guard and not just pass the guard, but also finish a lot of people that are really good with playing sort of bottom half guard and so forth. So one of the things is a lot of times when we're playing, Brendan is playing seated guard and I step in and I wrap his head. If I can, I always try to get the underhook. This is, once you have the underhook, this is going to be very, very strong. It's going to be very difficult for you. Go ahead, close up. Yeah. I just keep pulling my knee out. I float until I pass the guard. And from here, I usually will finish with one-handed guillotine. Yeah, baby. So this is, with the underhook, it's pretty easy. But we're going to go over what happens if you cannot get the underhook when the guy's hand is up high. This is very, very common, and this happens a lot in competitions where, again, seated guard, and I wrap, and I cannot, I start to drive, and I cannot get the underhook. So this is very, very, people believe in that head wrap, which is a very, very good grip. The problem with it, they try to kind of like they're hanging towards their back, and a lot of times as the guy starts to sweep, comes up, now you have nothing. And you just got scored upon. And a lot of times this is it, in competitions, high level, a lot of times that's it. There is no more scoring. So the top priority on this sort of, I call it the guillotine floating pass. Your top priority is when you get the head wrap. First of all, make sure your hand is in front of your torso. If it's out here, I can count. If you do this to me, I will counter you. I will not just counter you, I will finish you. There's a shoulder lock from there. You need to make sure it's in front of your chest, but also your number one priority is, Aaliyah, what is the number one priority? Kimura? Wait, what?
Kimura, yeah. Flatten them out.
Yes, keep them flat. So, let's look at it again. So, as I'm stepping in, I wrap. And Brendan is not letting me get the underhook. So, I drive with my hips. A lot of times I will post my hand. And now, this is where things get interesting. Do not rush. I need to, every time that Brendan attempts to try to sweep me, I flatten him out. It's easy for me to stop sweeps to this direction. So I flatten him out, Brendan goes the other way. And a lot of times, you can either use your leg or even get an underhook under his leg. This is, right now, Brendan is flat, pretty much. So it's almost impossible for him to come up on top. Even if he does, I can always, keep going. I can always punch him back down. So this is, if you absolutely need to, get the underhook under the leg. That actually helps put him back down. But your number one priority is going to be keep them flat. And what I mean by that, both their shoulders on the floor, and as much as possible hips. They're going to rock, but your adjustments are going to be easier to make. Just don't rush to get out. So now we're going to do it a little bit quasi-live, so you can see kind of the dynamics of this. Once my legs are out, I will either finish with one-handed guillotine, but if they have an underhook, what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect. Guys, by the way, if you need the grips, we've covered this quite a bit, both arm and guillotine as well as shallow guillotine, no arm guillotine. There's plenty of materials on YouTube, and if you want it better organized, go on the app. By the way, you get 3 free days on the app. But go on the app, it's highly organized. If you want to sort of spend the time, you don't want to spend the money, then stay on YouTube. But you're just gonna have to type in and look for the grips. But it's heavily explained. But most important, again, I focus on keeping them flat, and then once I keep them flat, I keep the pressure on with the guillotine grip. Okay, they usually try to stop you passing the guard. Eventually, they start to realize that the guillotine is getting tighter. So as it's getting tighter, their hands start to come up. This is your cue to pass the guard. You don't have to fully pass it. You can go to quarter guard. It doesn't matter. And from there, if I'm mounted, I will finish arm and guillotine. If I get the underhook, I will usually wind up finish with one-handed guillotine. So let's go. So I get wrap. He doesn't let. So I'm driving him diagonally this way. And here now, I'm gonna try to sweep me every time. I just bring him back. And now we fight. I'm trying to swim. Once I'm out, I get my knee up. I don't really care to pass the guard fully at this point. It doesn't matter because now I make the connection, and now I'm gonna constrict with my chest. This is an extremely powerful choke, and it's coming back. By the way, the guillotine is one of my favorite weapons. It is very highly effective. A lot of people now they're trying to stop sort of the. Your eyes are still teary. Guys, if you want to make your training partner tear up, just start playing with this stuff. We're out of time. All right, guys, I'm back. Well, I am back, but I have to fly out again. But I'll be back. I will see you next week.